Have you ever asked yourself, why do I feel so lazy? Why is it that sometimes, even when we know what we should do, even when we know what could change our life, we still don't move? Laziness is not just about being tired. It's deeper. It's a battle of the mind. It's a chain that holds so many people back from reaching their true potential. But what if I told you there's a cure for laziness, and it doesn't come from forcing yourself to work harder? It comes from a story that will remind you that inside of you there is more power than you think. Let me share with you the story of a young man who discovered that cure, and in doing so, changed his life forever. His name was Arav. Arav was just like many of us. Smart, full of dreams, but trapped. Every day he told himself, tomorrow I'll start. Tomorrow I'll work hard. Tomorrow I'll change my life. But when tomorrow came, he found himself lying on the bed, scrolling endlessly on his phone, wasting time, watching others live their dreams while his own slipped further away. He wasn't lazy because he didn't care. No, he cared deeply. He wanted success. He wanted to make his parents proud. He wanted to prove to himself that he wasn't ordinary. But every time he tried, something inside whispered, not now. You're not ready. Maybe later. And so, days became weeks. Weeks became months, and months turned into years. At 25, Arav looked at his life and realized he had nothing to show for it. His friends had jobs. Some started businesses. Others were traveling the world, living their passions. And he was still at home, making excuses. One night, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, he whispered to himself, why am I like this? Why can't I move? Why can't I change? That night, he had a dream. In his dream, he was standing in the middle of a desert. The sun was burning hot, and his throat was dry. He looked around and saw nothing but sand. Suddenly, he noticed a small plant growing from the ground, almost dying, struggling to survive. He bent down and whispered to the plant, how are you alive here, in this heat, in this emptiness? The plant replied, because I reached for the water underground. I did not wait for the rain. I dug deeper. Arav woke up sweating. The dream shook him. He sat on the edge of his bed and whispered to himself, if a plant can fight for life in the desert, why can't I fight for mine? That was the moment, the turning point. But here's the truth. Deciding is easy. Doing is hard. The next morning, Arav tried to change. He woke up early, opened his books, wrote down his goals. But within an hour, his mind started whispering again, you're tired. Rest a little. Do it later. And just like before, he found himself slipping back. But this time, he remembered the plant. He remembered the desert. And he said to himself, No more waiting for the rain. I will dig deeper. So instead of trying to do everything at once, Arav made a deal with himself. Just one thing a day. No excuses. One small action, no matter how tiny. Day 1, he read just 2 pages of a book. Day 2, he walked outside for 10 minutes instead of lying in bed. Day 3, he cleaned his desk so he could think clearly. It didn't feel like much, but something strange happened. Each small action gave him a spark of energy. And that spark lit another spark. Weeks passed, and his actions grew bigger. 2 pages became 10. 10 minutes of walking became a full workout. Cleaning his desk became organizing his entire room. And slowly, laziness lost its grip. Rav discovered something powerful. Laziness isn't destroyed in one big battle. It is defeated in small steps, repeated every single day. Months later, Arav applied for a job he had once been too scared to try for. He got rejected. But instead of quitting, he told himself, "I am not the same man I was before. I will try again." He tried and failed, and again. But each failure made him stronger, 'cause now he wasn't waiting for life to happen. He was digging deeper. 1 year later, Arav had transformed. He was disciplined, confident, and full of purpose. The same man who once couldn't get out of bed now woke up at 5 a.m. to work on his goals. The same man who once wasted hours scrolling now invested hours building his future. His parents noticed. His friends noticed. And most importantly, he noticed. He was no longer ashamed of himself. He was proud. My friend, laziness is not who you are. It is just a habit, a shadow that disappears the moment you bring light into your life. And that light is action. You don't need to change your whole life in one day. You just need to start with one step, one action, one choice, and then repeat it tomorrow, and again the next day. The cure for laziness is not motivation. Motivation fades. The cure is consistency, doing what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it. Remember the plant in the desert. It didn't wait for the rain. It dug deeper. You too have water beneath your strength, your faith, your potential. You just have to dig. So today, ask yourself, will you wait for the rain, or will you start digging? Don't let laziness steal your life. Start small, stay consistent, and one day you will look back and realize you have transformed completely. Don't give up.